Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your June 2025 reading. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found ÄLKØMԻ. Okay, if you stayed for the shuffle and the layout, these were pre-pulled, and these are directly from your spring reading, spring 2025. So as promised, I re-pulled them, and we built a reading around them. So I'm going to go over these cards again in case you either didn't watch that reading or you don't remember. So I'm just going to summarize this a little bit so you're not completely lost and we could tie things together. So you have here the 9. I mean, it is the major arcana 9, but it is a different version of it, okay? So this is this is the Hermit's sister, and this is called Soul Searching. And she is her astrological significance is Earth, Mercury, and Virgo. So it's a little similar, actually, right? And it's part of an expansion deck that's part of this enormous deck that I use. And this is an important card for searching for something, right? Be it a job, a soul tribe, a connection with someone else, or it could just be answers, right? You also pulled the Awakening card here. So this soul searching looks like it's going to lead to some sort of awakening here, Cancer. You have pulled the Chariot, and I love when Cancers pull the Chariot. This is your power card, right? The card of Cancer, moving forward with optimism, with confidence, stepping into your power as a Cancerian. Yep, this is your own energy in its purest, most vibrant form. You also pulled the King of Cups in reverse. And the King of Cups, it could be Sun in Scorpio. Some people think it's Sun in Pisces. It really depends on the deck and the book you read. But the bottom line is the King of Cups in reverse is someone in your life, you're letting go of something. You're letting go of something that isn't what it seems. Honestly, it could be a job that you thought you loved at one time. It could be a person that you fell in love with without really knowing who they were. You fell in love with what they presented, right? Could be a friend that did the same thing. You know, I've had friends that presented one way and it was so easy to care about them and be open to them and, trust them. And then they, sometime after, presented parts of them that I couldn't believe resided there. So yeah, yeah, this could be a group of people as well, right? Whatever it is, it's different from what you're bringing to the table, right? You have the healthier version of something. You have a healthier version that you're offering. And this search within this card, you're searching for something that gives back what you give, if that makes sense. Okay. Over here, and then this is the advice, right? You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is Venus and Pisces energy. Every knight in the tarot deck is on a mission. Okay, let me see if I could refocus this. 1 second, guys. I should really keep this card handy at all times because it is my focal. See how quickly it focuses? And it's really just this deck. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so all knights are on a mission, right? And the Knight of Cups mission is to search for love and beauty, a warm person, perhaps, to drink with from that cup. It is an offer, no, regardless of, it's an offer from a true source. It's beauty. It's every bit as beautiful as it seems. And the advice is to hold out for that. And the advice also, interestingly enough, and by the way, that is, I don't know if I mentioned, that's Venus and Pisces. Venus and Aqua energy here, folks. This is 5 of Swords as another advice card. And it's funny how Spirit is saying, hold out for the real stuff, the true stuff. Sorry about that. Hold out for the real stuff, but be on guard. Because the 5 of Swords, as we know, is a defensive card, right? Guard is up because you've had an awakening of some kind, right? And it was born from what? That soul searching. So you protect that part of you that's special and hold out for something that gives as hard or as beautifully as you do, rather than just offering your cup to people who seem a certain way. I do think that comes with age. It also comes with pain, right? After you've been through it a few times. Very lucky people learn very quickly, and some people it does take more time, But in any case, when we add all this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy, and it is that optimism that's going to be born from this situation. It is. So I like that for you here. So that's a sort of summary on your spring portion. Now moving on to, your cards here. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. Why I bother? I know you can see this really well, but this is the Fool, right? Pure Aquarius energy. A lot of people believe the Fool to be many, many things. I do believe the Fool is an Aquarian for many reasons, but if you want to look at a logical reason, it is Uranus energy, right? And the only sign Uranus rules is Aquarius, so there's your big clue. But in any case, you have this Aquarius energy, new beginnings, optimism, just like we talked about over here, right? A leap of faith, intuition. This is overarching energy, by the way. This is culminative, cumulative energy, right? Intuition, freedom, all the things. Childlike wonder. You also have the autumn card, and the autumn card is my card for harvest. I love that for you here. It's a gift. Now, it's funny. There's probably more than one thing going on here. In fact, I think there's like three things going on here. And maybe I'm right about this. We'll see as we go along. But I do think you're going to be rewarded in some way. The harvest usually denotes some sort of material gain, right? So it can be abundance in other ways, for sure. But usually it is the result of either hard work or something you have hoped for a very long time. It is a reward of sorts for something, right? A gift after much hope or much work, okay? You have the bridge. This is upside down, but we don't take these in reverse, right? And this is number 38 in this deck. The bridging energy is really good, especially for a cardinal sign like yourself, right? Because you are the bridge, you're the initiator. 11, for instance, is a cardinal number, and you are a cardinal sign, and those are the initiators, the things that the energy that starts things, starts seasons, initiates things. So the bridge is a very interesting. I don't mean to keep saying this, but this is a number 38, and it breaks down to a number 11. So I find that very fascinating. Anyway, we look at the bridge, right? And it's a connection. It's crossing a bridge to an unknown path, kind of like the Fool energy, right? It's definitely, it's a journey of faith. And healing is possible on the other side. Healing from something, healing from maybe a variety of things. But once you cross that bridge with this Fool energy, I could see this happening. You're going to be in a whole different place. It's a better place for sure. I'm going to pick these up first. You have the treasure box, and there's your harvest. Remember when I said it's material? Something material. Now, this could come in the way of a windfall, could come in the way of an inheritance, could come in the way of a job offer or a bonus. If you're in sales, it could be a big sale, something like that. But there is something material here on the table that's peripheral to all this that's going on here, at least for most of you, right? Yeah. You also have birth. I mean, this is another bridge, if you think about it. This is the birthing card. You're birthing something into existence. And what happens when you birth something? Let's say it's a baby. You're birthing. That child is walking over a bridge, right? Crossing a bridge, going from one world to another. And I really think that this is something for you, right? You're birthing something into existence, even though you may not see it so much yet. Here, these are usually thoughts of someone around you that you don't know about as of right now. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're just facts, and sometimes they're bad, honestly. So you have health, and it says, I'm going to be part of your health and wellness journey. So you could be thinking seriously about your health and wellness. Maybe you're thinking about losing weight. Maybe you're thinking about just being healthier in general with your diet, right? Maybe you're thinking about going back to the gym. Maybe you're thinking about more meditation, because to be honest, that is part of wellness. Anything that has to do with wellness, you changing certain habits, right? There could be someone here that wants to help you, or maybe you hire a personal trainer. Maybe you'd consult someone who puts meals together. I don't know. It could be anything like that. But there's someone around you, and it could just be a friend, to be honest. But there's someone around you that wants to be part of your wellness journey. This was on the side, so I'm going to leave it there. You have loan. It says, I am in need of financial assistance. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because there's someone that might ask you for a loan. And, you know, if you're getting some sort of a windfall and someone's witnessing this, they might hit you up. It doesn't look, you know, I don't know, but it doesn't look nefarious to me. It doesn't look like, wow, they're in the shadows trying to, it could be. I mean, I haven't looked at the rest of the cards. But be careful because usually, like, you know, I usually tell people if you win something, if something really good happens to you and it has something to do with money, to keep it to yourself. But in any case, yeah, it looks like somebody might be asking you for a favor. It doesn't even have to be a loan. It could just be a favor. You get a promotion and someone else turns to you and says, hey, can you help me get hired? It could be something like that, but it's a favor of some kind that has something to do with the material world. Okay, so when we scooch over to this side here, yeah, well, I guess I'm eating my words. There is a threat here. It says money, life, violence, privacy. I don't believe this is violent at all, but I do think there is someone in the shadows here, Cancer. That's really weird, okay? Yeah, there is someone here in the shadow. I don't know if it's the same person yet, so I don't want to just jump on that, but there is someone that seems to be watching. In my opinion, it has something to do with your privacy and money. But it does say wishes come true. Look, what did I say? Yeah, it says your wish is being granted, but it may not come in the way you expected. No worries. It's just what you need. Your wish, there is a wish coming true. Yeah. And you have bathroom. It says pristine, cleanliness, water, and renewal. And being that you are a water sign, there is something washing you clean of something else, something that you may have carried with you. It's some sort of, could be a deception, could be, I mean, listen, maybe this is all tied together somehow. Because you have the King of Cups here in reverse, you have this lone thing, you have that weird person in the background here. Let's just keep going before we jump to conclusions. But it says worthy goal. It says get out and be inspired to keep working towards your life's purpose. There is a worthy goal here on the table. Love that for you. Really nice energy. There is something weird. There is something weird though. So let's look at this. You have Capricorn, and you know you could be dealing with a Capricorn here, or somebody could have Capricorn highly aspected in their chart. But what I see here, only because we mentioned bridge, Capricorn is a fellow cardinal sign. Okay. And like I said, what are cardinal signs? They're the initiators. They're the people that get things done. They're the people that start things, start trends, start seasons, start, you know, whatever. And so you have cardinal in the background, sort of peeking its head out here. But let's keep that under our hats as we move forward. But you could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you yourself could have Capricorn highly aspected in your chart. Sometimes it's hard to know what sign you are actually dealing with, because sometimes, like, I was dealing with a certain sign, like I think it was a Taurus, and it was so weird because I didn't feel Taurian energy coming from this person, and I was like, no, there's some duality there. There's something, because Taurus is so very grounded. And sure enough, they had a Gemini stellium in their chart. And how was I to know that unless I got to know them? So it's a difficult thing to know. So keep that kind of where it belongs. It says discipline, obstacles, and boundaries. You have Saturn here. And Saturn is not only Capricorn's ruler, but it's also Aquarius's ruler. So you have Saturn energy here on the table. Now, Saturn will be in Aries, another cardinal sign. Capricorn will be in Aries in June. So I would say look for cardinals this month. When I say cardinals, look for the bird as an omen that something's coming to you, something that you've either manifested or some sort of gift from the universe. Look for a cardinal. You have Pisces in the 12th house, karma, shadows, and secrets. There is something going on here in the shadows. I mean, there just is. But there's something really good going on for you as well. Be very defensive. I think you should take Spirit's advice here. Be on your guard. You have Aquarius again. Wow. So you have Aquarius energy, innovative, rational, humanitarian. Yeah. Now, just so you know, for June, on June 9th, there's a couple of things going on. Pallas, the asteroid, some people call it Palaz, is retrograding in Aquarius, right? So, and it'll be that way over the next few weeks. So over the next few weeks, focus on the greater good, right? Because Pallas encourages us to harness emotional intelligence. And you are a very emotionally intelligent sign, right? So maintain your personal power, okay? Avoid getting swept up in any emotions that may bubble to the surface. Also, on the same day, we have Venus in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius. Stubborn energy that's in the air, right? It's time to recognize when it's time to leave a toxic relationship or environment, right? So it's around that time you might come to the realization of something, soul searching, and you might realize that certain, whether it's a job or a person or a relationship or a friendship, something like that, is just not good for you, right? Not good for you. On June 29th, you have Mercury in Leo opposite Pluto in Aquarius. You may feel a rebellious streak that day. Go and have fun with it, Cancer, but just keep it under a little control. You don't want to get stuck because it is temporary energy. So you don't want to get stuck in any choices made during that, temporary energy. We did forget to do your charms. I'm going to do those before I go down here. I guess if we didn't forget, I usually do them in a different order, right? So just so you know, these are your three legs. And like I always tell everybody, at least now, the legs can come in order: first third of the month, second third of the month, third third of the month, or they could come out of order. Literally every single month I get people telling me that they have come out of order. So some people say they come in order. So it's going to be different for each person. You know that tarot is not a science. All right. So with that said, let's look at your initials. You have S, V as in Victor, F as in Frank, A as in Apple, and H as in Henry. Now this could be someone's initials. It could be a job. It could be a street. It could be a restaurant. It could be an airport. So just keep that under your hat. One of these initials or all of them by the end of the month will mean something to you. You do have this book, and it says Once Upon a Time. Yeah, there might be someone trying to feed you a fairy tale, or maybe that's what happened in the past. We talked about how people present themselves, right? So this has been turned on its side. You're not really, and you see it's this side, right? You're not opening this book anymore, but you are acknowledging that it did exist, at least for a while. And what's fascinating is you got the earring, right? The earring of deceit. That earring is the deceiver. If there's a liar or a cheat in your midst, right? Some sort of deceptive energy. You have a snake that you're well aware of. Now, the interesting thing is here, let me grab a pointer. You have the snake, which is right side up, and that means you're aware of who this is, or you will be very aware of who this is. But the earring is upside down, and that tells me that you don't know the depths of how far this actually goes. You're seeing just the outside of it. It's actually worse than you think it is my point. So, but you have, and here it is again, you have the good luck charm with the money symbol on it. Do you see that? Yeah, there's some kind of monetary thing coming your way, new job, there's some kind of payoff because you have money, harvest, boom, wishes coming true. I mean, yeah. And you even have someone asking for a loan, potentially here. So just, it looks like you're very smart. I mean, it just looks like you know what the hell's going on. This happens to everyone, but it really depends on how gullible someone might be. And it also depends on how much someone wants to believe the lie, right? Sometimes we mind fuck ourselves into saying, no, that's all in my head, because we don't want to believe that, right? I don't think that's where you're at. I think that you're very on point here. I think you're going to be once you do this soul searching, you're going to know exactly what the heck is going on. So here are your three legs. Remember what I said about the order, right? Here, someone's spying and watching. Yep. There is someone watching. There's someone definitely watching what's going on here. You have the Knight. You have the Knight of Wands coming in reverse. Jupiter in Leo energy. And, dealing with a manipulative human who will lie, who will deceive to get their way. Honestly, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, right? You have to really be discerning. They're everywhere, especially when someone feels that you have something that they want, right? You also have the Two of Pentacles here in reverse, and this is Jupiter and Capricorn energy. Juggling two, you may have been juggling 2 points of view about this person for a while anyway. You may have looked at them and said, did I really see what I just saw? No, I didn't see what I just saw. You know, it could be that because it's in reverse now. So whatever it is you went through, you're not juggling anymore. You're not weighing things anymore, right? Jupiter and Capricorn energy. This gives birth to the Seven of Pentacles, Saturn and Taurus energy. And this, my friend, is another card of harvest. So here you have another harvest card. Yeah, be careful of this person because they are watching. They're watching. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy, fire energy, right? That passion, that optimism, motivating energy, assertiveness. And I do think it's coming from this harvest, this good thing that happens to you. Mars can be war, and the Chariot is also an instrument of war, just so you know. But Mars can also be very optimistic, very passionate. I mean, I personally really love Aries, and that's another what? Cardinal sign. Okay. So here we have leg 2, and you have, this is my card of Scorpio, Pluto. It says cycles, change, and completion. You have the first card up, the Fool in reverse. And that's interesting, right? So you have the Fool in reverse here, right? As we talked about before, it's Aquarian energy. And that is the fear of the unknown. And that is normal. This is just a snapshot in part of the month. So this is your overarching energy. And I do think you're going to walk over this bridge. But there is going to be a point where you stop and you pause. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know if I should do this, you know? And that's completely normal, as long as you don't get stuck in that energy. Now, you are interesting. You're a center card. And I always tell you, it's the card all the other ones revolve around. This is a very important card. You have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse is Uranus and Aquarius energy, uncovering a deception. Yep, they tried. They shot their shot. But I think you know what the hell's going on. You're seeing right through someone. You have the Four of Cups here in reverse as well. Moon and Cancer energy. This creates the motivation missing at the start of this leg, right? The start of this leg, you have the Fool in reverse where you're unsure. You're like, but then you come across some proof or something that lights you up. Listen, this honestly doesn't have to be one person. It could be a job that you're looking at and you're like, you know what? This is not good. They lied to me. They deceived me. Could be a family member. You know, we all have people like that in our family. Could be, it could be anything except a dog. Dogs are the best, you know, even when they're mean, they're amazing. So anyway, yeah, no, this could be anything, but this is something that the Four of Cups is that, especially when it's in reverse, it creates the motivation that's missing if the card was right side up. So something motivates you here. And when we add this up and we break it down, we get 11. And you know what 11 is? It's a cardinal number. Damn. Cardinal, cardinal, cardinal. Look for the damn bird. And get back to me about it, please. Okay, last leg you have. Oh, love this. You have Uranus. More Aquarius energy, by the way. Freedom, leap, opportunities. But this is mixed with what? It's mixed with avoidance and stalemate. Yeah, there's 2 things going on here. At least 2 things. You have something really great happening here, and you have something else, that dark, slimy energy in the background. I have a feeling you're going to get rid of it, but it's there, at least this month. You have the Empress. Love that energy for you, right? That's Venusian energy. But it's Taurus Libra, right? Depending on which book you read. Taurus Libra energy. The Empress is pregnant with possibility. What did I say? Pregnant with possibility, giving birth to something abundant, rich, lush. Yeah, she has it. She has something that she didn't have at the beginning of the reading, whether you're he or she. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse is Venus and Sagittarius energy. Lack of enthusiasm about someone. Mm-hmm. You have, on the one hand, really, really good news, and on the other hand, you have this lack of enthusiasm about this person or job or something in your life. And you have the Eight of Wands in reverse as a result. But it is the Eight of Wands in this situation. I really believe that. Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. So don't dwell on this. Dwell on the good things that are happening for you. Do not dwell on whatever the heck this is. If this is a person, snip, snip. Same thing with a job, honestly. Concentrate on the good things that are happening because you are a cardinal sign, damn it. And it's good things are going to happen to cardinal signs in 2025. Never doubt that, okay? But aside from the astrology of the whole thing, you have seen over and over again that bridging number and the cardinal signs. And I mean, it's just too many clues here, okay? You are going over a bridge. Now let's recap some of these challenges here. You may have isolating thoughts for part of the month, and that is normal, right? Just like that Fool energy in reverse, very normal to pause here. And here you go. You have, as a challenge, you have the Fool in reverse. What did I just say? Right? More Aquarius energy, but it's that pause. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Just saying, I don't know. Should I? Should I? You will. That's your overarching energy. And you have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is coming in reverse here. It is Jupiter energy, right? It's fixed Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Fixed Jupiter energy. But it is coming in reverse. And you're questioning this. You're questioning this movement because the Wheel of Fortune doesn't stop turning, right? So you are going to have doubts this month. You're going to have doubts with maybe the person in question. You're going to have doubts with this harvest. You're going to be like, but it's temporary energy. Feel the feelings and then just let it go. Let it go. So you could be in like a receptive. Yeah, you're going to wonder what to work on. Like, what do I work on? Do I work on this? You're going to have issues when it comes to understanding where to present your energy. But feel the feelings and move on from that because it's temporary energy, okay? When we add this up and we break it down, we get another card. We get Mars again. I mean, you can't say it enough, right? Obviously, cardinal sign, fire energy. There is a fire lit under your ass, whether you like it or not. Now, looking at your opportunities here, you have the opportunity to purge something out of your life. Surrender it, release it. You have the opportunity to see things from a new perspective with this Piscean energy, gaining a brand new perspective. And here it is. Remember when I said, I might not have said it. I should have said it. If you go listen to the spring reading, which was done a few months ago, I think I said it during that reading. This King of Cups is holding a giant cup, but his cup is upside down. So it's empty. Somebody was presenting you with an empty cup. Wasn't worth it, right? Here you have, and what did I say? Wait for the cup. Wait for this cup. Wait for this offer. And here it is. Here it is. There's your Two of Cups. So now you don't have one cup. You have two. This cup could be a job. It could be a partnership in business. Could obviously be love. Could be a brand new, beautiful friendship. There is something happening here that's very, very positive. It's Venus in Cancer energy. Very, very positive. You have the Five of Cups here in reverse as an opportunity. And the Five of Cups in reverse is Mars and Scorpio energy, a shift. You go from dwelling on, look, let me see if I can pull this back up. You see on this, he's dwelling on those spilt cups and he's ignoring what? Those two cups behind him. He doesn't know they're there yet. And this is turned upside down. Cancer. A shift from dwelling on something to dwelling on something negative to dwelling on the positive. Looking and recognizing the other stuff. And when we add this up and we break it down, we get Pluto energy. And that really makes sense too, right? What is Pluto? What is Scorpio? It's death and rebirth. Something's dying. Something else is being born. You're crossing a bridge. You're gaining what comes after autumn, winter. Winter is Scorpio. I mean, technically Scorpio season is in the fall, but winter is the season of death and rebirth, right? So, yeah. Love that for you. Let me see if I could grab the other cards. What I'll do is I'll close out your reading with a couple of cards and then we'll do your numerology, tie everything together For Cancer, June 2025, please. You have 777. It says, I am in the flow. Your purpose flows from within you, and everything that is unfolding or being revealed to you is part of your purpose, a state of peace and calmness in your soul. This is where the bridge is leading you, and that is beautiful. There's nothing I love more than peace. Up. Let's see. Let's see. For Cancer, June 2025. June 2025. Oh my God. Cancer. What did we just say? What is that? Where is that bridge leading you to? It says, allow your troubles to teach you and build on those lessons to create a better future for yourself. My God, I love when these readings tie together that way. I just love it. So when we add all the numbers in this reading up and we break them back down, we get Pluto. And so you are going through this change. You're completing a cycle here for sure, right? With that Plutonic energy, right? When the number that was brought up the most, believe it or not, was number 7, and that is Neptune energy. So you're going to be going through some confusion this month, and that's okay. What did I say? Feel it, experience it, release it. Okay? It's temporary. Anytime something negative comes into your head or something confusing, just your mantra needs to be, it's temporary. It's temporary, right? The planet that we discussed the most, believe it or not, was Jupiter, right? So it is the planet of expansion. The planet of, it's the Wheel of Fortune energy. It's luck. What did I say? Money, 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 luck, right? The signs, we have Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra, Taurus, Aries, Virgo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. The sign that was talked about the most is Scorpio. More Pluto energy. Cycle complete. But it was followed closely by Uranus. So you have that Aquarian energy thrown in there, right? That unexpected change. So to recap just a little bit, because it is a lot, right? We have that Neptune energy, pockets of confusion. We have that Jupiter energy. Your world is expanding, expanding, expanding. And so sorry. I can't get through it. That, believe it or not, that was a Sagittarian, and we're talking about Jupiter. So there you go. So we have that Jupiter energy. And then we have Uranus, which is that unexpected change. And we have Pluto, which is kaboom, cycle complete. I wish you all the luck. And, don't forget your birthday reading is coming up. You're going to, the birthday reading for Cancer this year is going to be 3 blessings that are coming towards you for 2025, 2026. Don't miss that. I will see you next time, Cancer. Namaste.